Unlocking Jesus Parables, stories that still transform lives. Please, like and share the Word of God. Subscribe to our channel, and write below which biblical topics you would like us to produce new videos on. Jesus was a master storyteller. Through parables, simple, everyday stories, he revealed profound truths about life, love, and God's kingdom. But these weren't just stories for ancient listeners. They still speak to us today, offering insights that can change how we live and see the world. Let's dive into two of his most famous parables, the Good Samaritan and the Prodigal Son, and discover the life-changing wisdom they hold. Let's start with the parable of the Good Samaritan, Luke 10 verses 25 to 37. Picture this. A man is traveling down a dangerous road and is brutally attacked by robbers, left half dead. A priest and a Levite, respected religious leaders, pass by without helping. Then, surprisingly, a Samaritan, someone from a group despised by Jews, stops to help. He tends to the man's wounds, takes him to an inn, and pays for his care. This story is more than just a lesson in kindness. It challenges us to look beyond the barriers that divide us, whether they be race, religion, or status, and to love without limits. The Good Samaritan shows us that real compassion means seeing a need and acting, even when it's inconvenient, and especially when it crosses societal boundaries. In a world often divided by differences, this parable urges us to live with radical, selfless love. Now let's turn to the parable of the Prodigal Son, Luke 15 verses 11 to 32. In this story, a young man demands his inheritance, leaves his father's house, and squanders everything on reckless living. When he finds himself broke and feeding pigs, he realizes his mistake and decides to return home, hoping to be received as a servant. But instead of anger, his father runs to embrace him, celebrating his return with a feast. The beauty of this parable lies in its message of forgiveness and grace. No matter how far we've strayed, God is always ready to welcome us back with open arms. The Father's love for his Son is a picture of God's unconditional love for us. A love that doesn't keep score of our mistakes, but rejoices in our return. For anyone who has ever felt lost, this story offers the hope of a fresh start, reminding us that no matter how broken we feel, we are never too far from God's grace. Both parables paint a picture of a kingdom where love, mercy, and forgiveness reign supreme. In the Good Samaritan, we see a call to action, to love our neighbors, even those we might consider our enemies. In the Prodigal Son, we see the boundless mercy of a father who is always waiting for us to come home, no matter how far we've wandered. So, what do these parables mean for us today? They challenge us to rethink how we live and treat others. They remind us that love isn't just a feeling, it's an action, and that forgiveness, no matter how hard it seems, is the heart of God's message to us. In our modern world, where division and judgment often overshadow compassion and grace, Jesus' parables are a powerful reminder of what it means to live with a heart like his. These stories still inspire us to reach out to those in need, to break down barriers, and to offer forgiveness and love in a world that desperately needs it. As we reflect on these parables, we're invited to step into the story, to become the Good Samaritan, or to come home like the Prodigal Son.